Words have power. Sometimes they build us up, and sometimes they cut deeper than we expect. Maybe it was something said in the heat of the moment. Maybe it was a comment that stung long after the conversation ended. Harsh words have a way of sticking with us, echoing in our minds, making us question who we are or how we're seen. If you've ever walked away replaying someone else's words, wondering why they hit so hard, you're not alone. We've all been there. And in today's episode, we're going to explore how to face those harsh words, protect your own peace, and remind ourselves that even when they hurt, that's okay. Welcome to And That's Okay, the podcast where we explore the ups and downs of life and remind ourselves that whatever you're feeling, it's for a reason, and that's okay. I'm Lisa Renee Scott, your host and a passionate believer that every feeling matters and every step forward counts. Each week we'll dive into real-life challenges, share relatable experiences, and offer actionable steps to help you navigate through it all. Before we jump in, I want to remind you that I'm not a licensed doctor or therapist. I'm here to share experiences and insights that have worked for me and others like me. Welcome back to And That's Okay. I'm so glad you're here today because we are talking about a topic that touches all of us. At some point, almost everyone has felt the sting of harsh words. Think about a time when someone said something to you that just stuck. Maybe it was a friend who made an offhand comment about your choices, a coworker who criticized your work in front of others, or even a family member whose words cut deeper than you expected. You left that moment replaying it over and over, wondering why it hurt so much, questioning yourself, or wishing they would take it back. We've all been there, walking away with that uncomfortable knot in our stomach, carrying someone else's words longer than we should have. And yet, even when those words sting, the truth is you can face them, you can process them, and that's okay. I know many of you have been there too. Maybe a friend, a partner, a coworker, or even a stranger. And the thing is, those words often have more to do with them than they do with us. But it still hurts. And that's exactly why we're talking about this today, because it's real. And it's something we can learn to navigate together. Let's start by understanding why harsh words hit so hard. Our brains are wired to pay attention to words. They trigger emotions almost instantly. When someone says something hurtful, it can awaken old insecurities or fears. Maybe sometimes we didn't even realize we're there. Sometimes we replay those words over and over, trying to understand them, to make sense of them. And often we unintentionally give them more power than they deserve. Take a moment, if you can, and think of one harsh comment or word that has stuck with you recently. Just notice it. Don't judge yourself for thinking about it. Don't think about it too long. Just bring it right to the surface. It's okay that it hurt you. I want you to hear me say it. It makes sense that it hurt. Your feelings are valid. Even if the words themselves are meant to wound you or were careless or misdirected, the fact that you're having a feeling is okay. So how do we take back our power when words sting? One of the most powerful things we can do is to reframe it. First, separate the words from your identity. What someone says about you isn't necessarily who you are. Harsh words describe the speaker's perspective, not your worth. Next, check the context. Often people speak from stress, insecurity, or bias. Their words are more about them than they are about you. And finally, reframe internally. So when the critical voices echoes in your mind, replace "I'm not enough" with "their words don't define me." Here's a practical exercise you can do right now, or later today, or the next time it happens. Write down the harsh words that have been sticking with you. Then, next to each, write a counter statement that reminds you of your worth. An example of that might be if someone said, "You're too slow." You could write, "I'm learning on my own pace and I do things with care. My value isn't defined by speed." Even small daily affirmations like 2 or 3 sentences can shift your mindset and remind you that you're not your critic's words. Another important step is to protect your peace. Words can sting, but we can set boundaries around them, like limiting exposure to the people who repeatedly use harsh words. You don't have to continuously engage with negativity. You can pause before responding. When you respond in the heat of the moment, we often give our power away. So take a deep breath, step back, and choose how, or even if, you respond. Then use physical coping strategies. Go for a walk, journal your feelings, or take a few deep breaths to reset your nervous system. It may feel small, but trust me, it works. Here's an actionable step for this week. Pick one person or situation where you would normally react quickly to harsh words. This week, intentionally pause before responding. Notice how it changes your emotional state, even just a little. That pause, that's reclaiming your power. Now, let's talk about turning those harsh words into power. Pain doesn't have to hold you back. It can also motivate you. Harsh words can remind you of what you won't tolerate, or they can spark creativity, empathy, and growth. Here's a little exercise. Take one harsh comment you've received and turn it into a small goal. For example, if someone said, "You're not good at speaking up in meetings," you should create a goal like, "This week, I will speak up when I normally wouldn't." The point isn't to prove them wrong, it's to reclaim your voice, your confidence, your sense of self. Even when words hurt, you can choose how much power they have over you. Harsh words hurt, it's normal, but you can separate those words from your identity, protect your peace, and even transform the pain into growth. So the next time someone's words sting, remember this: you have the power to decide what they mean, how they affect you, and how you move forward. You are worthy, you are strong, and even though the words hurt, keep saying to yourself, "That's okay." Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of And That's Okay. I hope you found our discussion insightful and that you're leaving with some practical steps to apply in your own life. Remember, no matter what you're feeling or going through, you have feelings, and that's okay. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might benefit from today's topic. Until next week, take care and keep moving forward, one feeling, one step at a time.